Let's make something festive. So this is a gingerbread box from Design Space. I will leave the design ID in the description box for you. And this is just a simple little box with a gingerbread man on each side. So I have cut out the whole design in this beige gingerbread-ish colour. And I'm just putting that together with some foam tape here. The box is pretty simple to put together. And then we are just adding our gingerbread men on each side. So I did cut out what I would consider to be the icing part in this really pretty white glitter cardstock. It didn't cut particularly well in the silhouette, so I have had to sort of pull it apart by hand a little bit, so you'll see that it's a little bit rough around the edges, but I think it works out okay after I trim it up a bit. Showing you where the gingerbread men will go on this box. And then you've got the piece with the eyes and the mouth, and the piece with all of the little icing and pretty bits to add. So adding the plain gingerbread onto the side. This was just for stability. This was quite thin cardstock, so I thought I'd add some extra layers there. There we go. I want to know who is still crafting Christmas, who keeps going into the new year, or is it January 1st and we're on to Valentine's? Let me know what theme you're crafting for at the moment, or do you take a break over Christmas? I know some people take a break and don't craft at all, and some people use it as a whole crafty session, should I say. Use that all the time to get in the craft room and get making. Adding the outline now, that icing outline. Using my Barely Arts glue for this because I love the fine tip bottle. Just going all the way around the edge. I use some really cool bits from the 𝓷𝓸𝓬𝓪 box for this one. So I use the December box, but they are rolling out their romance box at the moment. And I have... Sorry, excuse me. And I have that on my desk at the moment, and it's gorgeous. So that will be coming to you very soon, a little unboxing of that. Lots of red and pinks that you could definitely use for Christmas. But this is their December box. They still have some of the bits on their website if you're interested. And I am working on getting a code for you, so do check out the description box for a discount code. Using some of those December buttons. Gingerbread men need buttons, don't they? I considered the gumdrops, but I didn't have 4, and I knew I was making 2 of these boxes, and I wanted them to be similar, so I went for the swirly buttons instead. Added some glitter glue onto the mouth of this one. Also added some brown paper behind the eyes and the mouth. I'm using, I think this is like clear, sort of like a 3D, sort of like a glitter glue with no glitter in it, if that makes any sense. I ended up not liking it, so I didn't sort of stop to show you that too much. I didn't add glitter glue onto the other one either, so left it plain. I liked how that looked better. This little bow die, what is that from? It's from a different set. I think maybe a Temu one. The wreath die, if I remember rightly. Adding on that pretty tartan bow, and then the die cut one in the centre there. I thought they looked really nice layered together. This is how I added the brown behind the smile and the eyes. There we go, just some wet glue. And then when you flip it over, gives it a bit more definition. The same design on this one, so another tartan bow. Adding those same buttons on. I think I considered trying to add a red button at the top of this one, but there weren't any the same size. So the plan was to mirror the design on the left, but have it sort of slightly different, so green at the bottom, red at the top. But the red button's slightly bigger than the green one, so I ended up using both green for this little guy. And I also grabbed one of the clay peppermint swirl pieces out to add onto the bottom buttons as well. Considered one for the top. I'm not sure if that stays there or not. These little hearts I thought looked really sweet as cheeks, like little rosy cheeks. I tried those blue gems for the eyes, or black gems, sorry, and I ended up not liking them, so I swapped them for blue ones at the end. You'll see that. Considered darker cheeks, but I end up with the more blush coloured ones. I think they look better. There we go. And then it's not a cookie without icing. So I decide to grab out my white glitter texture paste. I love using this stuff. It's probably the only texture paste I actually use. I've got a plain white one and I just don't like it as much. So I'm adding that on the head, sort of like hair, sort of like icing. Bit of a mixture between both. I add less on this guy than I do on the other one. I think that was just me messing around and seeing what I liked better, and adding some clay sprinkles onto this while it's wet so that it dries and it looks like it's in the icing. I apologise for all my sniffling and coughing. I'm getting a cold. Does anyone else always get a cold for Christmas? Seems to be what my body gives me every year. What a treat. But at least there's lots of relaxing time around the Christmas period that I can use to recover. Adding these little red pom-poms. I thought they looked kind of like a bow in the hair like that. Then I decide I don't like them, so I pull them up and I decide to just use one, more like a cherry, I guess. So I'm just touching up the icing hair there. Adding some more sprinkles and just the one pom-pom. There we go. I sort of skipped forward to adding lots of bits into the icing. I did a little heart in there as well from the sequin mix. The Grinch one, what was it? Whoville, I think it was called. Absolutely gorgeous, that one. I also should mention that Buttons Galore & More have $10 international shipping, which is a flat rate and it's incredible. Such a good price for the subscription box. So definitely check them out if you are international. And if you're not, I guess. But for that deal, international. Adding a little heart into this, guys. Icing. Some light green sprinkles. And of course, a little cherry. Cherry pom-pom, I should say. I think this is where I add in the other guy's pom-pom as well. And then just sticking those onto their boxes. I think I needed to wait a while because they needed to dry. So I went ahead and added the mounting pieces to the boxes. Now I only had a small bit of this paper left and the piece that you can see already stitched onto the box was too short. So I decided to add the little made by label at the bottom there and stitch it straight onto the box so I knew it was going to fit. So that's what happened there. And then I'm only adding these matting pieces to the two sides of the box that won't have gingerbread men on them. So you can see easier with this one. I add it on the two sides, and then obviously these sides will have gingerbread men. Here are our gingerbread men complete. So I've added the little blue gem eyes. The one at the back is plain, and I've added a little pearl in the centre of the bows. I hope you have enjoyed hanging out and crafting with me, and I'll be back again soon. Bye!